healed from stumbles
and fumbles. So today we're up exploring an area around the Surbat mine, and it's in Mohave County, and we are trying to find the cemetery that's supposed to be up here from when there actually used to be a town here too by the name of Cerbat. So we'll take you along on this adventure and see what we can find. So as we're going up to Surbat mine, we come across some old foundation. Looks like there's one here. Some old tin cans. Not sure what it used to be, probably a homestead, I'm sure. And then off in the distance, there is another old building there. I'm not sure what that used to be either, but it's always neat to see these old foundations. Okay, so here's one side of the mine, and it looks like there's another foundation right there from some type of old building, or if they tried to make a wall. But we'll keep exploring and take you along as we go. Okay, so we pulled off into this little area. It's got a lot of rock, like it's something you'd put along a road or a town. Little formations here that obviously are man-made. And there's some other buildings here. I'll kind of take you up and take a look. It's supposed to be a cemetery somewhere around here too. So we're trying to find that, kind of just explore the area. And what I see, which I think is really cool, is that right there. So I'll have to go check that out a little closer and take you guys with us so you can see it. We'll do that in just a sec. Okay, I'm going to take you guys up to this building here and we'll take a look around. I am known for falling, so I'm going to do my best to walk and video at the same time without falling on my face, or rear for that matter. Okay. Let's get closer. That's really neat. Built into the side of the mountain here. You can hear a side-by-side coming. Some other people coming to check it out. It's always nice to see some of these older structures still standing so that we can appreciate them, kind of take a look into the past. It's really small, so I wonder if it was some type of like food storage area, like a dry cellar. I don't know, but it's pretty cool. And then let's let you see the view they had. Not too bad. we stopped off and found this old building too, and somebody's little old travel trailer. And like I said, you can hear vehicles in the background because it is super busy up here today. But it's not too difficult to get to. You could get here in a two-wheel drive if you needed to. Not a car, but if you just had a two-wheel drive truck with some good clearance, you could get up here. So we'll go check out this building a little closer. Okay, so here's inside this abandoned building. There is insulation. There are some outlets on the outside, so I would say this is probably, what, 60s maybe? 60s into the 70s. So this building's probably not too old. Obviously, oh, there's some electricity right there, obviously for light. But most of these rock formations are so old that they probably date more back into the early, what, 20th century?
So as we're walking out here, you can see up here in this old Surbat mining camp, here's some of the old rock foundations for the homesteads. We were trying to find the cemetery up here, but we haven't had much luck on that yet. The directions online are kind of sketchy for that, and I never came up here as a kid, but it's still a neat place to come. You can see some of these old rock foundations. This one here, smaller one over there, and then there's a third one over here. So I don't know if this is where the old mining community was or not, but there's some more down there it looks like. Anyway, it's kind of neat up here. Good way to enjoy your days off and get out into nature. All right, so down there's the Toyota. If we zoom in, you can see Fumbles down there. She didn't hike up here with Rojo and I, but far side you can see some of the old roads they used for the mining. It must have been something hauling trucks up and down that. But we hiked up here because we're hoping to find another mine, but it doesn't look like there's much of it left. Come over here, there's a couple mines here that they fenced off for safety, but we'll keep looking. All right, so it looks like we have found, I believe, the cemetery. Following the best directions we could. It's kind of triangular shaped, and like I said, it's not marked very well at all, but this seems to be it. So we're going to go in, be respectful, and see what we see. All right, so here we are. We've made it into the cemetery. This one, it's hard to read, but we can read it on the little map we had. It's Reese Jones, who was born in, looks like 1837, passed in 1902. So then we'll move along and I'll show you some more of the cemetery. All right, here we have Lucy Jones, who was born in 1890 and looks like passed away in 1892 is what it looks like. Maybe 7, but I think it's 1892. Either way, she was young. And moving around the cemetery, those are the only ones that are really marked with what any type of a grave identification. But you have a lot of the mounds and rock piles such as this one over here, and then they're just kind of like this one here scattered throughout. But if you come here, especially in the summer months, definitely want to watch for snakes. This thing's in not the best of shape, obviously, as you can see. And it's triangle shape. You can see Fumbles is out there walking around the outside of it. But it's kind of, like I said, triangular shape and just has not been maintained at all, which I guess that kind of adds to the uniqueness of it. And there's a couple things online about this cemetery that talks a little bit about it. I think Rojo back there and I were talking, there was a hanging out here. I don't know any of the circumstances of it, but I do kind of vaguely remember reading that, and so did he. But it's so overgrown in cactus, I'm really not sure how many graves are in here. I'll try and screenshot a little map we have of this to kind of show you the layout and add that at the end of this. But anyway, it's definitely historic and a little adventure to get out here. You don't want to come out here in some low clearance vehicle, that's for sure. So we've made it up to the area of Surbat mine. You can see where we parked. I don't know if you can see Rojo and Fumbles are down the wash, messing around. There's some of the old equipment still here. Up into there, we'll walk up there in a minute. Some more of the mines. I'm trying not to turn too fast here. But you gotta be careful when you're in these old mine areas, because just walking along and you think you're on flat ground, and all of a sudden there's a mine right there, an open shaft vertical mine, and threw a rock in it, and you can hear it keeps going quite a ways. So you got to be careful when you're out here exploring these areas. Some of them are fenced off, some of them aren't, and unfortunately every year, well, maybe not every year, but often enough, there are people that fall into these and get injured or even worse. So be careful when you're out in these areas. Well, here's one they tried to fence off, but it's not very fenced off. But there's a reason. I'm gonna lean the phone and the camera over without dropping it. I don't know if you can see, but if you go down there, it's a long drop. A lot of debris down there, and who knows what else, but definitely gotta be careful. So we found the main mine shaft. You can see it's a lot bigger than the other ones. You can tell by my shadow on the other side there how big this one is. It's like, must be some kind of bird of prey that stays down there. You can see a lot of the white poo or whatever it is. And then, like I said, don't go in these areas, but if you were foolish enough to, you can walk right around that fence or up on top, but it's not worth the outcome of what that drop would be like. All right, so I believe this is the old ore processing plant. I think somebody else has been here on a video before once that we watched. I guess that's where they did ore processing. I don't know. I don't know anything about mining. Not going to look in there because half the time you come across an old toilet that's in an abandoned area. Somebody's decided to christen it. Apparently Awesome Powers, not Austin Powers, Awesome Powers was here. Yes, that's an old safe room. That's a solid steel door right there. I don't know. Kind of cool. What do you think, Fumbles?
Oh, I think it's cool. I love exploring these empty buildings. There's some wasp nests too.
Yeah, so watch out if you're here during that season. Anyway, all right, so that's the ore processing building.
Fumbles here. So we are back home. We had such a great day exploring those abandoned places. We wanted to say thank you so much for watching. We know it's one of our longer videos, but we tried to put in as much content as we could so you guys could share this little mini adventure with us. So from Stumbles and Fumbles, until next time, we'll catch you then.